So hey there, welcome back to my workshop, to this project of making cool stuff. And we're going to be getting into making the Greenman. That's coming right up here. But before that, first things first, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for making comments on my YouTube videos. They mean a lot to me. And also for the likes, the thumbs up to all of you guys for the comments and for the thumbs up. It means a lot. It's important to my channel. It's important to me. So again, a big thank you for all of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we're going to move on to making the Greenman, and I want to go through some level of detail. So we're going to move on to making the Greenman. And so what I did in Aspire, and it doesn't have to be Aspire. I didn't do anything in Aspire that you couldn't do in VCarve Pro. He wants to play now. And he's playing with his ball. He wants me to throw it. And I will do that in a few minutes. Aspire versus VCarve Pro. Can you do it in VCarve Pro? Yeah. Everything I'm doing in this making cool stuff is you can do it in VCarve Pro. So what I'm doing is I'm using, on the Greenman, I'm using two cutters. I'm using a 1/8 inch ball nose end mill. And I'm using a 1/4 inch, just a regular flat end mill. The nice thing about what I'm going to tell is this. So when it comes to making 3D carvings with Vectric, is that it does a nice job at it. But if you've got any kind of like 2D flat surfaces, you should do that with 2D. 2D is a whole lot more efficient, it's faster, and it's better than trying to do this whole thing with 3D. So if you look at the model and the plaque on the background, there's two clip arts. One is the plaque and one is the model, and it's just one on top of the other, and it's adjusted with your modeling tools. VCarve Pro has the same modeling tools as Aspire. Aspire has more, but VCarve Pro has these ones that I'm going to talk about. So I made 3 boundaries, and I'm separating the 3D stuff from the 2D stuff. And even though the whole thing is a 3D model, I could still do that. In the modeling tools, you can click on the model, and then there's a create boundary around the model. So you click the model to highlight it, and then you click on the make boundary around model, and you get a nice line around it. So that's what I did. The black line around the outside is the outside boundary of the plaque. So I clicked on the plaque and I clicked on create boundary. And then for the Greenman, on the inside, the red line, I clicked on the Greenman model, and then I clicked on create boundary, and it created that red line. I colored it red, so it doesn't come out red automatically. And then with the line in the middle, the green line, my dog's going nuts. He's playing with a plastic plant pot that I use for starting my plants, and he's just running around like crazy. Anyway, so the green line on the model, you can see around the periphery of the plaque where it's kind of grayed out. And then what I did was I just manually drew a vector around the plaque. Where is he? He's right here. See? My nutso. So the green line, I just drew that. It's just a line. But it's a boundary. You can select it as a boundary. And then I put it on a layer and I made it green so that we could talk about it and I don't have to try to point to it, because it's kind of hard to point to it. Anyway, so the flat area is going to be everything from the green line to the red line. Everything in between those two, that's all flat. You could see that on the model. But what I did was I went from the black outside periphery to the red inside. So that just kind of like pockets out. I used a pocket toolpath and I pocketed out that whole area from the black outside to the red for the Greenman. And that's what we're going to do. That's the first thing. And that's what I'm showing. So the rest of it comes after that. So let's go ahead and go do that. So a few days ago, I sat out in my yard and I did the segment out in the yard. But now, just a few days later, you can see the trees are going bare. My yard is getting covered with leaves, and it's definitely starting to look like fall in New England. I finished up doing that whole flat area with the 1/4-inch end mill. And I showed that, did a little video. It looks okay. It looks pretty good, a little bit of sanding, but for the most part, it's good. The next thing that I'm going to do is to go in and do the 3D work. Remember I said I was separating the two 3D areas from the flat area so that the flat area is done with the 1/4-inch end mill, and then the two separate 3D areas are going to be done with the 1/8-inch tapered ball nose end mill. And it's a pretty strong tool. So, if it was just a 1/8-inch ball nose end mill with straight sides, they break so easy it's not even funny. So a tapered ball and nose end mill is a better way to go. So the two areas of 3D is the outer area that's radiused on the sides. That's one area, and that's the line between the black line and the green line. That's why I separated that area out. And then the Greenman face model is all inside the red line. So I can do a 3D toolpath. I did two separate 3D toolpaths, but I'm thinking that maybe I could have done those two toolpaths in one selection of a 3D toolpath. I've never tried that, but it would be worth trying at some point in time. I might try it just for the fun of it. So I made two separate 3D toolpaths, one for the outside periphery of that radius area and one for the Greenman face. By separating those two areas, I know that I can group those two toolpaths into one toolpath file to post out. So I suppose that there's a couple of ways to do that. One is you could do it with a merged toolpath, which I've done before. I've merged toolpaths before, and it works out really well. The other is you could post out two toolpaths, as long as they're both using the same exact tool. You can post out the two toolpaths into one G-code file to send out to the machine. And the third one that I just mentioned, that I just thought of, and I didn't even think about it before, is you could use one 3D toolpath tool in Vectric and select all of those different things. I don't know. I've never tried that before. I'm going to try it. So, onward. Let's go and do this 3D cutting on the Greenman #1. Let's go. All right, today is November 1st, 23. I finished off the 3D work. It came out looking pretty good. One thing that I'm not happy at all with is the way that the radius on the outside periphery of the plaque came out. It's all steps and stuff. I mean, you could see that in the video. And I don't know what happened there. I'm not happy with it. But that sign foam sands so easy. I'm going to put some 60 grit on a sanding block, and I'm just going to sand it into the radius that I want to see there, and it'll be fine. The only thing that I've got left to do on that is to do the cutout, and I might just do a quick ending with the cutout, and I pop the piece out of the sign foam, but that's it for this Greenman. But that's not it for the cool stuff video.